India have failed once again to claim a Test series win on South African soil despite taking a 1-0 series lead after their victory in Centurion. With an improved India team attack and a team entering the draw of South Africa as clear favourites, there may be some disappointment back in a nation which expected the visitors to make history and win on SA soil. Joining me now is cricket journalist from Noida in India, Kabir Naqv. Kabir, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure chatting to you. Welcome to the show. I mean, how much of a blow is this for India, considering that they entered the series as clear favourites?
Well, I mean, why just talk about India? I think no team likes losing. And, I mean, given that there were quite comparisons that were being drawn vis-a-vis the South African team and their inexperience and the experience that the Indian team had, of course, it was, and like you rightly pointed out as well, going one up in the series as well, it was the Indian side's game and series to lose, which ended up happening. But just picking off from what the Proteas skipper there was talking about and the coach as well, it most certainly was a series of standout performances, of individual performances. And like the coach also pointed out, it's great that the team did bounce back after the loss in the first test, and nothing should, be taken away from that. Due credit where it is deserved. Dean Elgar says that he breathed a sigh of relief for all the youngsters, turning up and changing the whole scenario of the series. But yeah, I mean, it is certainly disappointing for all the Indian fans here. But nevertheless, what's more important is that given the COVID situation that we were all talking about before the series was even going to go on, it's great that such a historic series did in fact play out, and we're looking forward to a set of ODI matches as well. But yeah, a little bit disappointing.
I mean, just talking about that disappointment, much is usually expected from India's batsmen, especially the form of Pujara and Rahane. They were not as good as we would have wanted them to be. How much of a concern is their performance during the series?
Well, I mean, concern is quite layered at the moment. You have Rahul Dravid, who's, quite new to the coaching scenario here. He's been winning. He's taken his first loss. And it's called Test for a reason. I mean, you pointed out that the media outlets were writing the South African team off after the first match. And sports shouldn't be looked at like that. Given Pujara and Ajinkya Rahane's performance, it's not just these two guys. Let's not, target just two batsmen. It's a complete middle order. A test is not supposed to be played like a T20 or an ODI. So the collapse of the middle order here is something that is of huge concern. And it is going to be looked at as well, considering the next couple of matches after Team India returns back home is going to be on home soil. So yes, a possible reshuffle in the test team is going to probably happen. It's likely to be there. It's on the cards. But then again, I mean, this is sports. No one team can go on playing for the longest time. So change is but inevitable. Old always gives way to new. And those in form will get a deserved chance.
I mean, let's stay with the batting for now. We know that they lost more or less 60 wickets. What do you think needs to be done to improve that for India?
Well, I mean, South African pitch is a completely different pitch. People talk about how bouncy it is, how, the willow gets managed. And of course, at various coaching levels as well. I'm sure the team knows what it needs to be doing. It is being helmed by the great Indian wall, Rahul Dravid himself. So there is need for reformation in the type of strategy the team should have, inculcated. But then again, a bad day is a bad day. And you really needed the middle order to come back and back your top opening batsman, because likely scenario was that if a Mayank Agarwal or KL Rahul did not really work out, and Virat Kohli with the kind of balls he faced and vis-a-vis the runs he was scoring, it was imperative that somebody else also come and help them. Given which Rishabh Pant's 100 is something that he's cleared the skeletons from his closet, given his past dismissals. But these individual performances, it seemed, helped out the South African side more than it did the Indian side, because the bowling batteries, both the camps, Rabada, with Jasprit Bumrah, and the whole bowling batteries, Jansen, they were quite literally phenomenal, both sides. The batting that did let us down. What kind of roadway is needed? Well, I think that's for the BCCI and Team India and the dressing room to decide.
I'm glad you talk about the bowling. I mean, just looking at India's bowling attack, it seemed to have some positives. From your side, what are those positives that you saw that you think perhaps India can work from moving forward?
Well, I mean, you see, taking five bowlers to a test match, you're always confident about your bowling battery. Virat Kohli has always been, a huge support to the youngsters in the team and backing them. Even after a bad game, you back your bowlers as well. And Indian team is known for its good bowling as well. You have an Ishant Sharma who's a veteran who's sitting on the sidelines, taking a sip of that highly nutritious juice sometimes around. But in terms of what can be improved here, I don't think there's a lot of improvement that is needed. The skipper knows exactly what bowler to be called in what temperament and what situation. Shardul Thakur, he's been called the boy with the golden arm because he can bat it real good as well. And he can get inside the mind of the batsman as well whilst you're bowling, which is again really important as well. Apart from that, I think the bowling battery did come up with the right cards. They were dealt the card. They were playing with the cards they were dealt, and they came in clean.
I mean, now preparing out
in the mindset, a change in the temperament, a strategy of how and who's going to bowl, how much, how you set up your field, how aggressive do you go into the match, and of course, in a shorter format, the toss again plays a real crucial importance as well, like we've seen in the previous World Cup as well. But it seems like we will see some fresh faces, a reshuffle in the team. That's probably likely on Rahul Dravid's cards. And there is, in fact, a change in captaincy as well. So, first change in captaincy as well. It's a new beginning for Rahul Dravid and Team India and the Indian fans as well. So we're, equally looking forward to the match as well.
We're definitely looking forward to that one. Kabir, thank you very much for joining us. It's always a pleasure chatting to you. That is a cricket journalist from Noida in India, just talking about that test series between South Africa and India. Unfortunately, India not being able to make that history and winning it here on South African soil.